You've just stepped into the crowded airport lobby. Your passport still warm in your pocket, and that electrifying feeling washes over you. That mix of adrenaline and excitement that makes you realize that in a few hours, you'll be in a completely different world. But wait, before you get carried away by the euphoria of travel, let me tell you a story that might make your blood run cold. Imagine Sarah, an experienced traveler who thought she knew all the pitfalls of traveling. She had just gotten off her flight from Paris to Bangkok, exhausted but happy to have finally reached her dream destination. As she made her way to the baggage carousel, she spotted her distinctive red suitcase. But just as she reached out to grab it, a man in an impeccable suit, with a shiny badge pinned to his jacket, intercepted her with a reassuring smile. "Allow me to help you, ma'am. Airport customer service," he said, lifting her suitcase with a natural authority that left no room for doubt. Sarah, already disoriented by jet lag and the chaotic atmosphere, followed him without question. After all, who would refuse a free service? But here's the problem. That free service cost her $50. The man was not an airport employee, but a professional con artist who had perfected the art of manipulation. And Sarah is not an isolated case. The statistics are terrifying. Scams at airports have skyrocketed by 1,200% in the last 2 years. Yes, you heard right, 1,200%. But why have airports become such a hunting ground for these predators? The answer is simple. We are all vulnerable when we travel. Our brains are in survival mode, focused on 1,000 logistical details, and this natural distraction makes us perfect targets. Let me take you behind the scenes of these sophisticated scams that unfold before our eyes every day. Take Mark, a businessman waiting for his flight home after a week of intense negotiations. He takes out his phone and searches for a Wi-Fi network. Airport_free_VIP appears at the top of the list. The name seems legitimate, and Mark connects without hesitation. Big mistake. This network does not belong to the airport. It's a digital trap set by hackers who, at that very moment, are accessing all his work emails, bank accounts, and even his personal photos. In just a few clicks, Mark has compromised years of sensitive data. But the scammers don't stop there. They have developed techniques so sophisticated that they rival those seen in spy movies. Get ready for this story. Julie arrives at Charles de Gaulle Airport for her flight to New York. At check-in, the agent behind the counter frowns as he looks at her suitcase. "Ma'am, your suitcase weighs 28 kilos. The limit is 23 kilos. It will cost you $120 extra." Julie is stunned. She weighed her suitcase at home, exactly 22 kilos. But faced with the agent's authoritarian attitude and the pressure of time, she pays. What she doesn't know is that some corrupt employees are tampering with the scales to extort unjustified fees from travelers in a hurry. The scam becomes even more vicious when it comes to fake security agents. Pierre, a retiree traveling in the Philippines, is passing through security when a man in uniform stops him. "Sir, you are carrying local currency. It is strictly forbidden to take it out of the country. We must confiscate it." Pierre, not wanting any trouble in a foreign country, hands over his 200 euros in Philippine pesos. This law did not exist. The man was not a security guard, but a con artist in disguise. But here's the most diabolical scam I've ever seen. The canceled flight scam. Emma is waiting for her flight to London when a woman in a flight attendant's uniform approaches her. "Ma'am, your flight has been canceled due to a technical problem. But I have an exclusive solution for you. I can put you on the next flight, but there is an urgent processing fee of $200. Emma, panicked at the thought of missing her important business meeting, pays immediately. Her flight had never been canceled. Do these stories seem surreal to you? Yet they are the daily reality for thousands of travelers. Airports have become labyrinths where every interaction can potentially cost you dearly. Scammers have studied our psychology, our reflexes, our fears. They know exactly which buttons to push. Take the ghost taxi scam. You leave the airport, tired, with your heavy luggage, and a friendly smile greets you. "Taxi? Where are you going?" Before you can react, your luggage is already in the trunk and you're in a vehicle with no meter, no license, and above all, no scruples. The ride that should cost $30 is billed at $150, and the doors won't unlock until you pay. But how do these scammers operate with such impunity? The answer will surprise you. They prey on our social awkwardness. We often prefer to pay rather than cause a scene in public. This politeness, this desire not to disturb, becomes our weakness. The poisoned QR code scam is a perfect example of this psychological manipulation. You're waiting for your flight when someone in uniform says to you, "Excuse me, your flight has been delayed. Scan this code to receive a compensation voucher." The QR code looks official, but it installs malware on your phone that will siphon your bank details for months. The reality is brutal. These criminals make millions every year by exploiting our trust and travel fatigue. They study our habits, our schedules, even our facial expressions to identify the most vulnerable targets. But here's the good news. Now that you know their techniques, you can outsmart them. The next time you travel, you'll know how to spot these red flags. You'll know that a real airport employee will never ask you to pay in cash, that an official Wi-Fi network will always have a clear login procedure, and that no agent will ever offer you exclusive services in exchange for immediate payment. Your trip should remain what it has always been: an adventure, a discovery, a moment of freedom, not an obstacle course against professional scammers. Now you're armed to travel with peace of mind, keeping your savings in your pocket rather than in the pockets of scammers.